Yo, right here in the small box.
I'm heating up, I'm trying to burn down Toronto. Better keep 6 feet space, this 6-side shit contagious. Money coming in, all I see is numbers, like I'm in the Matrix. We've been in the trap.
All right, let's go ahead and lock in with this one, bro. We got Jay Nolan, Esso, and all these Drake fans. They're still not understanding. I'm not going to say they're sitting here and crying because, of course, they're going to believe what they believe in, and that's rightfully so. But you guys are completely missing the mark when it comes to the conversation or the arguments that you bring up when it comes to not only their favorite artist, but as well as what they believe in, because they're confused and conflicted and they're not even realizing it in what they're speaking. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. Let's lock in. Y'all do know how I start this, right? I'm asking for a friend. The friend is me. You do know how I start this. So let's go ahead and make it happen. Yo, you, right here in the small box, right here in the small box. Welcome back to Flexmob Reactions, only on the Flexmob Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to this channel. We got Jay Nolan. If you see this dude's face on any of these videos, you know that we gonna have a very good conversation for sure. So let's not waste any more time and lock in. Yo, Esso sitting there with Mal and Rory, and then we got Akademiks on the back end. Pause. Speaking what he believes in for sure. Y'all are entitled to what y'all believe in, but you're completely missing the point. So let's go ahead and lock in. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. Hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop my videos. Or why am I so high up? Or when I'm live, like right now. Damn, my bad. Did I hit you? I apologize. Let's go ahead and lock in with this one. Let's make it happen.
The episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this video, we're going to be covering Esso, who made a recent appearance on the Roryandmal podcast. And in his appearance, along with Heineken, of course, inevitably, the subject of Drake came up. And he went into another rant talking about how bad it is.
Hey, Tiff, after the last live, he deserves it. That's all we need to say. After the last live, he deserves it for sure.
That Drake is not on the scene. How dreadful it is that he's not out here partying with the ladies and popping bottles and creating the vibes. I don't know how. Hey, man, I don't live in New York. Y'all got to let me know how often Drake was in New York partying with these niggas. Being the life of the party out there, because they make it seem like this nigga was motherfucking El Chapo of the party. You know what I'm saying? In New York. They make it seem like this nigga is El Presidente of the party in New York. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, we're going to get into the DJ that don't spin, because he came out and had another conversation, I should say, with Chris Blake Griffith.
Welcome back, bro. Welcome back.
And in that conversation, he addressed the Iceman episode 3 episode once more, and basically said he had a conversation with Drake. And I guess Drake started copping pleas as to why it was so bad, and did a whole little, excuse rant to gain sympathy from the DJ that don't spin. So now he's saying, he was on tour. He's doing all of this while still preparing for his next show.
Excuses.
That's why it wasn't good. That's why it wasn't everything that you thought. If you're confused, just know that Drake's not on tour anymore. So if there's another one, it'll be much different. Nigga, fuck all that shit, boy. Since when are we in the game of excuses? Find that to be interesting. But before we get there, let's go ahead and pull up this Roryandmal clip with Esso.
With Game Dash,
Yeah.
I say a little bit of shit. I say I think I said on Bagfuel, I said I think he's getting slandered, and people say why you getting slandered? I said, but Jay-Z doesn't have to slander him. Jay-Z's just everybody's favorite. You know what I'm saying? He has the leverage. So Jay-Z can just sit back and just watch everybody just do what he's doing. He doesn't even have to want y'all to do it. But your fans, it's like when you got a bunch of gang members and somebody...
I'm gonna keep it tall. This nigga don't even sound smart. He don't sound smart at all. I'm just saying that right now.
Wants to go make a, they want to get close to you. So they want to go make a point. He got a billion gang members. It's like, oh, if his name Dash is trash, it's this, it's that,
setting on that.
I don't like this at all, man. And admittedly, I used to fuck with Esso and Heineken when they were on the Math Hoffa, My Expert Opinion podcast. Not so much Heineken, but I thought Esso was a good addition when he was on there. You know what I'm saying? He brought music industry perspective to the show. He did tend to overtalk niggas a lot. I didn't like that part. But since they've gone out and branched off and done their own thing, I've supported their podcast a little bit. But this is weird, man. Now, he's starting this out with Dame Dash. And he says Dame Dash is being slandered publicly by the people and by media. The same type of slander.
Dame Dash is making himself look crazy. Quickie, do your thing, and Anthony, it's kind of scary, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of scary.
That Dame Dash put out about people for the last decade, right? Calling everybody who opposed him a culture vulture, calling everybody who opposed him broke, everybody who opposed him wasn't a man for having a job, wasn't a man for not being a CEO of a company. The very same slander that he put out on people, I guess he never expected he would meet a day that it would come back around. So now we got people like Esso and others, I won't say who, but they're now trying to say, hey man, we shouldn't talk about Dame Dash. We shouldn't acknowledge the truth during his rough times, basically. And that's just not how the world works. What you put out is exactly what you get back, right? And there was a lot of people out there that knew that the pendulum was going to swing the other way. I'm not against Dame Dash. I grew up nearly idolizing the dude. I respect Dame Dash and what he did. I am a student of Rockefeller. I've said it until I'm blue in the face on this channel. You know what I'm saying? So much so that people think I'm a paid correspondent for Rock Nation. I'm certainly not. You know what I'm saying? So that's not what's going on. But he just gotta deal with it. He made videos with his teeth out. He made videos with his eyes looking crazy with a patch on when he could have just postponed it. He the one that did all the interviews. He the one that been taking bags to sit down and shit on people. And now when people have the opportunity to say, hey, it's your turn, he don't like it. But we're going to get back to it. I just wanted to address that because I haven't been talking about a lot of this other bullshit Dame got going on in the last week.
Go ahead.
So it's like, what are you going to get from that, yo?
Yeah.
You out here defending yourself all day. It's like Drake. I would have said, yo, Drake, don't even engage in this no more. Like, yo, just go do what you decided to do.
Funny enough, I've been saying that. I've been saying that for a minute. If you were smart, you would stay away and stay out of this conversation and focus on what you need to get done. And that's make better music. If you claim to be the person that you say you are, you should be able to make better music, no problem. But the layers are starting to be peeled away because it's not looking like you're the kind of person that you say you are.
Do later. You just put songs out. People still like your records. A battle doesn't mean nothing. I said this. I said if he just go do the songs, and I said on the show, I said the industry isn't as entertaining since the takedown of Drake.
Think about that. It's not boring.
It's not entertaining. Like that's all that I'm saying. When he was rolling the,
it ain't about the takedown of Drake. The industry is boring because the artists are not producing enough great shit, or at least the artists that you want to hear from. Let's keep it a buck. because the other artists that are out here that aren't getting enough traction or getting enough promo or getting enough you know, hits on their music, nobody acknowledges that stuff.
To be honest, as I go through different videos and as I learn from other videos, the answer to that question is actually a lot deeper than what people realize, because so many things, so many factors are involved as to why somebody is not dropping. We recently come to find out that the labels will literally tell you cannot do anything right now until we tell you to. That's one. Two, as while they're telling the same artists not to do anything, those same labels are working on literally breaking other artists, working on AI artists, keep that in mind, and they're literally pushing their best top quality artists. Everybody that has supreme star power has definitely put something out in the past couple months or the past year in this whole thing. Also, at the same time, they probably cannot make music that can really fit in with the kind of sound shift that we're in right now, because a lot of people be tired of that. I understand there's a lot of people that like to party. A lot of people like to go to the club, all that ish. But y'all were doing that the whole time with no direction. Eventually, that lifestyle was going to lose revenue. So much so that people are fed up with club culture in a whole. Think about it. Club culture is a minority demographic. Listen, when you come here, I'm going to be talking about different variables when it comes to marketing. A demographic is one of them. If your demographic is struggling, knowing that you're working with a minority demographic, you're not bringing in that much money anymore. You're really not, okay? Don't pay attention to all these units these guys are moving, knowing that their contract is probably taking around half of what they get. So even if they get a nice payment, is that really substantial to make them say, oh, I'm one of the richest rappers out here. I'm moving this. I'm doing that. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm throwing money here in a strip club over here. I'm doing this over here. But realistically, what does that mean when you do all that? That doesn't mean anything. It, like, literally, this whole rap beef just showed the world that all these things never had value. None of them ever had value. And I literally sit back and laugh because everybody really thought, oh, if they're doing this, they're that guy. Says who? What? Who deemed that the thing that makes them great? Because that doesn't mean anything. But what it is that they're trying to attach things to simple actions to make it seem like these are substantial movements. And when you peel those layers away, the reality is that that ish means nothing. If we're going to be honest, it's sad. Drake will never stop being a hoe. Valid. It's a cluster F in the label. Absolutely. So there's a lot of things that go into this. So when I sit back and I hear Jay Nolan talk about like this,
keep it a buck, because the other artists that are out here that aren't getting enough traction or getting enough promo or getting enough hits on their music, nobody acknowledges that stuff. You know what I mean?
That's just a couple variables that he listed off. There are so many different things. Like, think about it. The way that music can branch off into so many different things. Think about the source of where the music comes from. And that's a lot of the time the labels. Of course, you can say the distributors, but to keep it simple, looking at the labels. The label, there's so many different things when it comes to the label, when it comes to pushing music. So when you look at the music and you see the music struggling, you have to look at what's going on with the labels to kind of understand and figure out what are they doing. Maybe are they doing something wrong? Maybe it's like, oh, we don't need this person right now because what they've been doing for years has been on a decline, like et cetera, et cetera. So many different variables.
Even on my channel, when I try to talk about certain other artists, outside of the scope, they get way less views. It ends up being almost a waste of time when it comes to finance versus time investment in creating.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But let's just keep it real about this situation. It ain't about Drake. Drake is only one person. Drake can only put out an album at a time. Drake can only make songs with so many people.
And what have I been saying about when you rely on one person? When you rely on one source for all of your information, all of your knowledge, all of your just daily life action, etc. When you rely on all these things from one source, and then you expect that to be dominant for years, knowing that you're literally burning your source out, and you expect your source to be moving on all cylinders at all times, knowing that this is not a robot, and eventually things are going to start falling to the left. It's not realistic, and it's not smart to do. Putting all your eggs in one basket, knowing that there's a hole at the bottom of the basket, you're literally going to lose some of those eggs eventually. So instead of doing that, why don't you put some value into artists that are probably not at that level, but you can push more music from these high-level sources that can outweigh this one source, because you can't rely on it no more. It's literally better to do it like that, because to rely on one, you're taking a risk. And of course, the reason why it's been working is because UMG has been making sure that the risk that they take works. It's like a risk and a reward kind of situation, but you're kind of holding up the risk so that you can maximize on your reward. And it's crazy, but it's been working this whole time up till now.
Well, at any given moment, if the industry is boring, it was going to be boring, including Drake. As a matter of fact, it's been boring, including Drake, because the nigga ain't went nowhere. He ain't stopped dropping music yet.
Yep.
He just dropped an album at the top of the year. What's wrong with it for the fans?
And that's another point. All these people be talking about, oh, the industry is boring without Drake, even though your brethren has dropped over 50 songs. And then you're sitting there saying it's been boring, but yet you've been getting music from the same source that you relied on. You see what I'm talking about? You burnt out your source. The people don't even realize it. They're like, yo, where's Drake? Where's Drake? We're supposed to be getting music. He's been dropping this whole time. He didn't go anywhere. He's been right here in your faces. And y'all niggas out here talking about, hey, where's the boy? I don't see where he be at, bruh. I kid you not, like I don't understand. And then he just walking by on your right side like, I don't see him. Where is he? Where is he? Why hasn't he been dropping yet? There's a whole 50 track right here. Like, I just don't get it. It's been so boring without him. We need him. Really?
Chris Brown's concert had all the bitches. I'm not gonna lie, right? But when Drake was in town, it was like a hysteria. It was a thing going on in New York. It was 5 days and parties here and fashion here and
she was excited
over here. That's how it was going. I don't know what it is about him and the people he brings.
So I have a great question. So knowing what you know when it comes to New York, my question is, have you ever looked at any of the artists that y'all have here and tried to grow them into being what y'all need instead of relying it from somebody that's not even from America? Have you thought of doing something like that? With all the OGs that you got all over New York, y'all never sat down with any of these potential artists that you see value in and said, we are going to invest into your likeness so that we can grow you into a substantial artist that the city needs. We are going to make sure that the music you make is going to feed and provide for the streets in New York. Have you ever thought of doing that? Y'all don't even know how to invest correctly, bruh. That's so crazy. Y'all don't know how to invest correctly with all those artists that you have running all up and down the city. Y'all never even, you see how blind everybody is? Like, when I hear these dudes talk, it's like everywhere you look, it's like you can't see. It's like you really can't see. Y'all have your own artists and don't even try to build up any of them. Invest in somebody. The reason why Drake worked is because somebody invested their time and their money into his future to put him into this upper echelon scale that everyone sees him at. Why haven't you stopped and think about who here can we do that for so we don't need to rely on this? Use your brain.
Or who rocks with him, but he had a different type of excitement to the game.
And since he been chilling, shit been boring. Hip hop's been boring.
And now
they gonna kill you for that.
They can.
They said
but it's the truth.
We said it too, but it has been.
Yeah,
it's just the truth.
But why do you say it's been boring?
Nobody who's bringing the excitement.
The music.
The excitement just isn't in a great record.
Is it the music or is it the party? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't even, y'all.
I want to hear all that again.
Shit been boring. Hip hop's been boring.
And now
they gonna kill you for that.
They can.
They said
but it's the truth.
We said it too, but it has been.
Yeah,
it's just the truth.
But why do you say it's been boring?
Nobody who's bringing the excitement.
The music.
The excitement just isn't in a great record.
Is it the music or is it the party?
There's levels to what he said just now. Y'all are killing me in the comments. But there's levels to what he said just now. Is it the music or is it the party? Because in today's society, when it comes to the music, a lot of people are kind of confused about where the music can go or what the music can do for them. Because they're not realizing that they're taking in the music in strictly moments. You know, so let me see if I can walk this down correctly. Because when you go to, like, in different party situations, whether if you're at a function, whether if you're at like a little Getty, if you're at like a private, or if you're at like one of them strip joints, the music that you make for those moments definitely matter the most. For sure. When you make music for the strip club, that gets the girls to do what they need to do to get the money out of dudes like this. Right? So, in that sense, yes, you're definitely going to need music for that demographic. But if we're talking about music as a whole, like the word music as a whole, if you're making strip club joints for the world, see, now I gotta look at you sideways, because if this is what you care about the most, knowing that you're promoting your work, you're promoting your art to a larger demographic that probably doesn't even want to hear that. Remember, people listen to things in different moments. We take in music in moments and different moods that we are in. So knowing that you want to make this kind of music for this kind of moment, for this kind of crowd, knowing that in outdoor life, in daytime, talking about walking, driving, having a little picnic, outdoor jam, something, you think that strip club joint gonna work? A lot of the times, when you just on your ones and twos, you go to a picnic, you're in a community environment, majority of you don't want that. You don't want that. That's not what that moment is for. So, dudes like these right here, they are even confused because they don't even know what they want for real. They don't, like, how are you this old? And at the same time, they do know what they want, but the way that they're talking, it's like they don't know what they want. because what they want is the party joints. They want to turn up. They want to get lit. They want the music that they can have fun too. And Drake provides that, rightfully so. There's a reason why people like him for sure. And I understand it. I understand that a lot of y'all really want to turn up damn near every day of your life. And if you choose to do that, that's peace. That's cool. Do what you want to do. But please understand this. That is not the majority demographic. That is a minority demographic of people that listen to that music. We don't always want that no more. Think about when Kendrick literally existed again and how, don't even take my word for it. Go on YouTube. Go for all the reactions when we saw Like That appear on the album, and then we were surprised with a Kendrick verse on it. The key word is we were surprised with a Kendrick verse on Like That. That's not his song. He took over the song, but that's not his song. A lot of people are confused when it comes to that. So when Kendrick literally came back, the whole world erupted because that song Like That literally just gave people the energy that they literally needed. And you can take it and put it into almost any environment that you go to. Does it work in a club? Of course. But does it work when you're just outside on your ones and twos? Does it work when you just playing some basketball? Does it work when you just kicking up with your friends and you want to listen to something? Does it work when y'all together in a community environment, you're just trying to listen to some ish? Just, you know, like, yes, it does. It works in many different environments. It literally works. But if you want strip club joints all the time, that's not gonna work. So sorry. And don't even get me started on how some of the streams are capped. Let's get that out the way. Buddy, there's levels and layers to this. It can get real dangerous.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't even, come on, man. Y'all are a tandem. Esso and Heineken, y'all move in unison. Y'all couldn't even get y'all story together before y'all put this together. One nigga talking about the parties for 4 days. The other one say it's the music. The music ain't been hitting.
They can't get their point across. They can't get their point right together. T-Dub, that's a fact. Metro's ish is still slapping. The club songs Drake's making, they all sound exactly the same for real. It's true.
The music, he just gave y'all that. He been giving y'all niggas leaks. He didn't give y'all Iceman episodes. He didn't give you which one was Central C. That ain't the music? That wasn't it for you? Come on, man. And before you OV hoes get in here talking about some, oh man, this nigga Nolan is always emotional when it comes to Drake. I'm having an amazing time. I'm not emotional at all, my boy. I'm having an amazing time. I feel great. My aura is great. Ain't that what Maul said when they left Joe Budden? My aura is beautiful. Lame Manny.
What made our shit exciting was the personalities, the feeling that you got when they was in public, when you saw dudes coaching at the Rucker.
Hear what he said again.
That you got. What made our shit exciting was the personalities.
It made something, okay, so what made it exciting for you was the different things that you just listed, but at the same time, when you are creating or when you are pushing a new artist or not even a new artist, when you're pushing an artist that has been around making music for a lot of people. For example, Zeddy Will. Zeddy Will, he's been making music. Now, it's the younger generation for sure, but that is somebody y'all can invest in because he's been having a generational run on TikTok with the tracks that he's been making, because almost every track that he's dropped has gone viral with the dance. Y'all should be investing in Zeddy Will. In fact, let me confirm this. Let me confirm this real quick. Hold on. Let me confirm this. Let me see. I need to make sure if I know where dude is from. Yeah, he's from New York. Dude's from New York. Why are y'all not investing in Zeddy? Dude is from New York. He fits the demographic of literally what you need. How'd I crack the code already? How'd I crack the code already? Why are you relying on this, knowing that it's shaky over here? But this young man, Zeddy Will, with all these tracks that he's been dropping, getting everybody, not just the girls. Because listen, for okay, hold on a second. Zeddy Will has literally the songs for every. Are these niggas stupid? Hold on. Let me help y'all out because I'm sure a lot of people don't understand who exactly I'm talking about. So it's definitely confusing. Let me help y'all understand who I'm talking about. Let me help y'all understand because some of y'all sitting in the chat right now, you like, who are you even talking about? So let me help paint the picture real quick. This is Zeddy Will.
Look, I don't think it's possible, bro. I can't go, bro. I like to stay up out the mix. I don't want. I don't think it's possible, bro. I can't go, bro. I like to stay up out the mix. I don't want no smoke. I don't think it's possible, bro. I can't go, bro. I like to stay up out the mix. I don't want no smoke. I paid it off with all cash. I don't want no note. You really good at everything but head. I don't want your throat. I don't want that shit. Matter of fact, I want your friend. I'm allowed to switch. Really?
Do you understand? Do you understand what that has the girls be doing on TikTok or in the club? Do you understand what that nigga, hip gyration is what you get with this song. So, to these two old men over here, since y'all are from New York and if you are in need of somebody to get people moving and grooving and bring some life into the city, why y'all don't tap in with Zeddy Will? He's been making music for the younger generation. Y'all can teach him and educate him on how to take his knowledge and craft that he has in the tracks that he make and apply it to a little older generation so you can get them moving too. Do that! What the fuck? Do that! Utilize the options that you have. Y'all are not even looking to your own city. That's crazy to me.
The feeling that you got when they was in public, when you saw dudes coaching at the Rucker. Drake was one of the few people, he's outside.
Yeah, one of the most successful.
My man went to
superstars of all time.
Starlets with a plastic bin.
He's
and threw
outside.
bundles of money. He didn't even break the seal. He just threw the bundles.
I rock with Kendrick.
Yeah,
I do. I think
Kendrick don't be
I
outside.
think he's a.
What does Drake throwing money in the strip club do for y'all? Were you picking it up and putting it in your...
They live vicariously through him. That's what it does. When they see Drake take some ones, fan out the ones, and throw the ones up in the air, and then they fly. They don't fall. They fly. They be like, damn, I love this nigga. They're like, damn, I love... Just look how gracefully the money just fall. And then you see money fall like confetti. And they're like, damn, I love this nigga. Because how do you just do that ever so gracefully? As they watch the dollar bill fall, when they got a whole girl dancing in front of them, they're looking at the money fall like, I can't believe he did it that way. I never even did it that way a day in my life. I got to ask him, and he must teach me the way so I can figure out how I can do that too. Yo, bro. Y'all need to step to the side because you're ruining the conversation. Step to the side because you're ruining the conversation, bro.
Back pocket, like what benefit? Unless your baby mama or your wife work at the strip club and she bring it out to the household, what benefit does that do for you? Holy moly.
Talent, rapper, whatever.
Dope artist.
He's not outside. Nobody's outside. Like, nobody.
But you guys are from an outside era.
All right.
These kids are inside.
Cardi B's rollout has been about
Cardi
what?
B
Being
is
outside. And they're looking at it like it's
Cardi
magical.
B is outside.
And that's standard record
She's
label
doing a
rollout.
standard. She's doing a standard.
I mean, the same thing with the
Cardi B's outside, but she's not in the club, to my knowledge, throwing ones. She's meeting with the fans. She's doing meet and greets.
Cardi B is literally trying to just push her likeness and her character into new rooms, and y'all are worried about people being outside. If all you care about is people that are outside or people that are like being outside, why don't you look to the people in y'all city that are outside like that? Look towards the people that gets your city lit. Look towards the people that be getting your city popping. Zeddy Will is not the only one. Zeddy Will is just a good example. Look towards the kind of people that y'all have in y'all city and try. If y'all are who y'all say you are, you should be able to manage these dudes, if I'm going to be honest. To put them into literally a different stratosphere. Y'all should be able to do that, no? Y'all should be able to get that popping, no? If not, then y'all need to sit down and hush. He ain't with the BS, that's facts.
Somebody educate
Outside
me.
the
When was the
court.
last meet and greet that Drake did for one of his albums? Not at the show, but a promo tour
Raven
for
facts.
meet and greets for the album. When was the last time Drake did that? I'm sure he had to do that in the early days of his career because that was standard 10, 15 years ago. So more like 15 years ago. When his first 3 albums came out, you could actually go to Best Buy and pick the shit up. I remember him and J. Cole buying each other's albums from Best Buy and shit. That's when that was a thing. But when the last time he did that? Because y'all are acting like this man is like the NYC stimulus for the entire city whenever he comes around. Like a LeBron James season in Cleveland.
Crazy.
The clips, I loved their rollout.
Standard
but it was
rollout.
a very, they just did what anyone had done before.
And the kids thought it was magical.
Because they watched
They
it
was
from their
outside
basement.
a little bit.
They weren't outside. They watched the artists be outside.
The clips was outside. They was accessible. They did shit downtown and they had outside concerts and they were popping up over here. It gave you the air of accessibility just because they decided to come outside and make their face seen.
Right.
Nobody, if you can reach out and touch somebody, if Nicki Minaj was outside, and I'm not talking about being in the club, I'm just talking about if we saw her somewhere beside an award show or something like that.
So it's not about the club, it's about where you see them at. I see what you're saying, but it still doesn't hold enough weight.
Hysteria would be different.
If she stood up on top of a truck in Soho,
I'm sure that would be a big deal if Nicki came out to New York and did that. You know what I'm saying? You know, why she doesn't do that? Well, maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it in the next album rollout. She's dropping in March of next year. Maybe she will. You know, there's gonna be things said about that if she does. It's gonna be like, oh, it took for Cardi to do it first. But I think all major artists, and not just major artists, I think every artist needs to figure out a way to balance online promotion with offline promotion. Hand-to-hand combat is what we call it. You know what I'm saying? You get out there, shake hands, and don't be kissing no babies now. That shit is over with. I don't know who came up with that. I understand the sentiment behind it, but shaking hands, you know.
Man's like, whoa, we're not letting that slide. That outside concert was an exclusive event for rich people. What's good, Furry B? You late, but you on time. It's all good. They were doing shows for 100% white crowds. Where was this man when the Clips was performing before the drop? Not existing, that's what. I'm not relying on what this man says, if I'm going to be honest. Because he's sitting there making himself look foolish.
Putting your face card on the line. I do believe that is where the industry is heading because everything has become so virtual, so online, so homogenous that if you don't mix it up and add something.
What Jay Nolan is talking about, though, him specifically, is what makes sense. The issue with a lot of artists today is that they're relying on online promotion and they're not relying on just being outside and being in the physical. So from what from what Esso and Heineken were saying, yes, that part of that whole conversation, that part is valid. That one moment is valid out of this whole 5 minutes for sure. And what Nolan is talking about, yes, in that sense, a lot of artists are failing to understand that. But at the same time, who's really to blame? Because a lot of times, it's not the artists. These artists be following what some people at the labels be trying to push to them and tell them what's good. Remember, the people that are working at the labels, they are not music heads. Those are tech heads. Those are techies. Those are tech nerds relying on the numbers to tell them what they should do with their promotion and how they should market themselves. The reality is that you can only do so much online. You got to be outside for sure. So a lot of artists need to balance the two, being able to go outside and do some promotion, do some extra work, and at the same time push their content, push their album online, whether if it's through Google Ads, Instagram posts, X posts, etc. Just whatever they can do, just being creative in the moment. But you still got to be out in the open too. And that's a big disconnect.
A real human element to it, you lose it, right? They're coming in with AI. They're saying an AI artist got a $3 million deal, went #1 on the R&B charts, and none of us know who the fuck it is. So clearly,
yo, T-Duh, I'm glad you said it. I'm so glad you said it because I've been paying attention to La Russell for sure. His team, and yo, La Russell is probably the best example of doing both. Because if you just witness the conversation that he has when it talks about his promotion and being outside, being able to do shows here, while at the same time they're pushing and promoting with his music here, or they're promoting this event, this engagement here. His team needs a Pulitzer Surprise Award. His team needs a Nobel Peace Prize because they are the prime example of how to do it right in today's generation. They're doing it so correctly, it's not even funny. I'm telling you right now, and it's crazy. Even for Torontonians, they must study this man. They must study this man because here in Toronto, it's actually very easy to move around and get your name out there as long as you're going to the right sources and the right places to put your name out there. That's the major thing, you know? But I'm glad you brought that up because that's a really good point.
Those numbers are heavily inflated by some bullshit bots. Right? But now that the information is out there, we have real humans, due to curiosity, going and actually listening to it, further exposing the light to this AI artist. Crazy how that works, right? So yeah, the more online shit gets, the more homogenous it gets, the more boring it gets, and the more replaceable you become if you can't go outside and see people, shake hands, and let
Anthony, shut up.
people feel your energy in real life. I do agree with that part of it.
Oh yeah, it would shut the whole city down.
But you know what it would do? It would bring excitement to hip hop.
I agree.
And this is what we don't have people doing. Remember when Jay-Z spent the whole summer driving around New York in the Wrangler?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Everybody talked about that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody went to buy Wranglers. It created some excitement. Oh, Hove is in the city. Mm-hmm. Nobody's doing that within their cities.
So you don't feel like hip hop has been exciting since Drake?
Since the battle.
Once the battle died down, it's been boring.
I think we've had moments. We've had good music,
such as
I said good music.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good albums.
I agree. There's been some good music, but
it's not. It's not.
Oh, you know this shit not.
Come on, bro.
No, but I think the clips rollout was exciting.
I can't say nothing. Like they gonna kill me no matter what. I can't say shit.
What do you think, bro?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
The clips rollout was exciting.
I like the clips rollout.
To me,
I like the rollout.
I think that brought a lot. That was probably the most exciting moment this year as far as hip hop went. I would say
I'm not saying nothing. If that's the most exciting moment, like we got it.
It's back to square one of just a standard rollout.
It's a standard rollout. That's it.
They don't like the fact that it was the clips. That's what they don't want to say. They don't like it that it was the clips. It took the clips to show us another side of the game, to show us the other side of the coin, to show us, you know, let's be fucking clear. Yeah, the coke rap, blah, 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 blah. The most talked about song off the album is The Birds Don't Sing. You know what I'm saying? And that's carrying. They perform that shit at the Vatican. So that lets you know that hip-hop, the spirit of hip-hop is still alive. I don't know if it's alive and well.
But Anthony, that just goes to show you that they're not paying attention to that side of music. They only want to pay attention to the side of music that gets the place lit. That's like literally from the beginning of this conversation, you can already tell that's what they care about more. 'Cause they think, and remember, it's a minority demographic, but the thing about why it works is because even though it's a minority, they're able to maximize on that minority demographic's revenue so it can fuel their pockets, right? There's more creative ways to handle the minority demographic to get money out of them. There's a lot of different creative ways. So that's why they care about it the most. For sure. Don't forget that part. So just from the way that they're with wow, words are hard. The way that they've been talking this whole time, you can already tell, like, yo, this is what matters to us the most, because we see the most movement, we see the most motion, we see the most aura from this, aside from that.
Although there are good MCs putting out music, but it's alive. It's in there. There is that light.
Yo, Tiff, hush up.
We just need people to embrace that light when it comes from other places. Y'all want to continue the same run with the same people, and at some point they will age out of the spotlight. It just is what it is.
But it worked.
And look what the
point of a rollout is to work.
Think about it. They had to do.
And when I say age out of the spotlight, I'm not talking about literal age. I'm talking about, like, your run is, if you're the number one nigga for 20 years, at some point, somebody's going to have to take over that number one spot. You're not going to be Michael Phelps first place when you're 80 years old. You can't be Usain Bolt at the Olympics at 60 beating all the goddamn 19-year-olds. It's not going to happen. You might could goddamn keep up. You might could be on the track, maybe, if you're in extremely good health, but you probably ain't going to win that bit. But I'll let these niggas finish.
All of that.
I like Cardi B on the train better than that.
Yeah.
I like Cardi B fake selling the CDs. Like,
on 2 Fifth.
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm enjoying for hip hop? Like, I'm off tilt. The Commodore skits about the hip hop story.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
So that's Esso and Heineken reiterating once more.
They're basically enjoying things that they can physically see. That's from that point itself, that shows you what kind of individuals we're dealing with. They don't understand the retrospective. They don't understand the read between the lines. They don't understand the lyricists. They understand what they can physically see and understand. That just goes to show you what kind of world we live in too. It's crazy.
The city of New York is dead without Drake, a nigga who ain't even from there.
Yo, Furry B, man. Jesus Christ.
Now, I know I got my East Coast people in here. I know I got my New Yorkers in here. I'm not saying that Esso is speaking for y'all. I'm just saying that's what that man is saying about y'all city. Take that up with him, not with me. All right? He's saying y'all ain't got shit going on. He's saying y'all economy is fucked up. He's saying y'all strippers ain't making no motherfucking money. Ain't no stacks being spent. Ain't no excitement on the streets. Ain't nobody busting the motherfucking hydrant open for nobody unless Drake come back around. That's what Esso saying. That ain't what Jay Nolan said. That what they said.
Hey, Quickie, talk about it.
And lastly, we're gonna try to get through this quickly. You got the DJ that don't spin telling Chris Blake Griffith that Drake was working on the Iceman episode while also managing, his Europe tour. Now that the tour is over, he's fully focused. They also discuss whether this album will be a defining moment for his career.
See what really happened at the end of the show,
And like I ain't even ready for all that.
and sometimes I would do it, but it would ruin the experience. So,
Oh Lord Jesus, yeah, no, I understand.
So he told me some good stuff, but I'm trying to tune it out.
Did you tell him the truth about episode 3?
We talked about that. No,
So what's your take on episode 3?
No.
It was, come on.
Episode 3 is, and by the way, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be fucking nothing up because what he told me about episode 3 makes sense. It fucking makes sense.
Okay.
And I'm not even saying to gas. And I know everyone's like, yo, why are you gonna say it if you're not gonna like just fulfill the mission and just like keep it all the way 100 with whatever it is? It's just that the moment I now say it publicly, people use me as a source to be like, oh, that's the word on episode 3, as opposed to say, whatever confusion you have, just keep that. Right? Like, I know, but it ruins, like, to be honest, I felt more confused but intrigued when I was confused. As soon as he kind of, like, explained, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I be feeling like a lot, even when I get confused, I just, out of respect and reverence for the boy, I be feeling like he's too smart to be stupid.
Okay, I'll give...
Out of respect and reverence for the boy, this is the same nigga that outed Drake's DMs, by the way. But he's got respect and reverence for the boy. This is the same nigga that accused Stefan Diggs of not Diggs. Oh, pause.
Hey, yo.
Of trying to assault him and all this stuff. A lot of people are poking holes in his story. They saying his police report don't add up and all this type of stuff. So, apparently he's a double speaker.
And I know some people like to act wives. I'll say this.
Oh, shit.
With episode 3, and this is all. I don't think that album coming out this year. If the album does come out this year, I want to see the track list. I wanted to see the track list to see if any of the songs that he played on Iceman are going to be on it. If you're going to put out that album with those songs on there, with the Which Ones, the What Did I Miss, and Doghouse, if you put out Iceman with those songs knowing that nobody was really receiving those songs well, you got a serious problem on your hands.
All I could say in terms of even going forward for a possible next episode, episode 3 is literally cooked up while my man is basically on a hectic Europe tour, and just know tour is over. So that tour shit is over. Just let y'all know.
No excuses. No excuses. Here it is again.
Episode 3 is literally cooked up while my man is basically on a hectic Europe tour, and just know tour is over. So that tour shit is over. Just let y'all know tour is over. So he got to work episodes in while having to go kill a show tomorrow, and he had a show yesterday, and he's doing everything live. And y'all are expecting the greatest music of all time, which I am. We're expecting all these things, drop this, and third, and he's in the middle of a tour. Just know tour is over. And I'm going to just leave.
There is simply zero excuses you can ever have for why he gave us subpar content. Cool. If you're on tour, that's cool. You have a job to do. Focus on the job at hand with the tour, making sure that you have a good tour, okay? You don't want to be wasting your time doing all these extra things on the side thinking that everything's going to be cool. No. Focus on your tour. You have fans in other parts of the world that are waiting for you to perform and put on a show for them. Focus on your tour. Honestly, all this Iceman-ish, you did it too early because you were clearly going for a summer drop. It's not happening. Even before the tour started, You should have known, can we get this done during the tour or not? That answer should have been no, instead of overwork yourself. Because you overworked yourself for no reason. Your tour is almost done and you were looking for a summer release, when in reality you were never going to get there. It was always going to be a fall release because it made more sense. If you finish the tour now and then you have all this free time for Iceman episodes, honestly speaking, you could drop these Iceman episodes damn near back to back and then drop the album, and that would make it look better than what it looks like now. Y'all are not planning correctly.
Exactly. He gotta sit with you though, bro.
Listen. No, I think in due time. In
the near future, he got to sit with somebody, and I think if anybody's well deserving, it's that of Big Act.
I think we're gonna stop it there, okay? So he says, being that he was on tour, getting ready for a show, he just did a show the other night.
That's a good point, TW. That's a good point.
That the Iceman episodes were lackluster because he was multitasking with his tour. He had too much dip on his chip, too much on his plate. My answer to that was the lives couldn't wait till after the tour was over.
Exactly.
The rollout couldn't wait until the tour was over.
Exactly.
So you would rather give people half-baked, subpar, bullshit, shitty booty-ass music to hold them over, waste their time for hours upon hours on some money-long shit, instead of giving your fans...
You would have looked a lot better knowing that you're driving around Toronto after this major tour that you went on. You would have looked way better than what you did before you left for the tour. You planned it wrong. You simply planned it wrong. That's all it is.
Your best foot forward once your tour is concluded. And you're supposed to get sympathy for that? You're supposed to get, what, brownie points for that?
Hell no.
I think the fuck not.
You're not getting no brownie points, especially at the age you're at and the career level that you're at. There are no brownie points for you no more. You must stand on business. No more excuses for you. You're not a new artist. You've been around for years. You should know these things like the back of your hand. It just shows that you don't even know the back of your hand, and that's not even a good look.
Not. But once again, the excuses never end. I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s, 9, 10 Mac 10. Excuses never end. That's the forecast of the future. They say it's gonna get better now that he's off tour. So if it don't get better, blame the DJ that don't spin for spinning another narrative. All right. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
Deuces. Just realized that Act says words like Trump's greatest of all time, biggest in the world. There's no one like him. Act used Trump. Oh, Jesus Christ. Throwing the fake gang signs, shooting fingers and pistols. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Because they going to do that to friggin' Whitney Houston. You got to be out of your damn mind. You must have just listened. That must have been like the second time you listened to that song. Let's keep it tall. So yeah. A lot of people in the industry that have big names don't even got their priorities together for what they desire from music. That's a problem. That is not a good look. But we accept it because of who they are. You must challenge these individuals on what they say. Because if they want to remain where they are, they must stand on business with everything they say. If this is what you really believe in, then if we challenge you on it, you should have no problems responding. Right? Look, I'm here to talk about this. I'm here to get to the bottom of these things when it comes to these dudes. Shout out to Jay Nolan for sure. All right? Over here, we give suggestions and opinions on how to be better, on how to be great. That's all I do, you know? And I love the fact that a lot of the things that I am saying matches with the individuals that I'm listening to. It's kind of magical for me, to be honest. But let's move on to another video because I feel like there's so much to get to for today. So let's keep going.
I don't live in present tense, so just over a Daytona. Girl, my life been like a kid drama. Walking to
Bye, have a beautiful time.